Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Christmas Eve with Ms Tique, Psychic Medium. I will just wait a little bit for people to jump on, and if you can, a little bit of housekeeping up front. If you can, excuse me, if you can like and share this feed to either your own page or to any of your groups, it would be very much appreciated. I have got, from the last couple of weeks, I can't even display that, a bucket load of names already in the draw throughout this evening, because it is Christmas Eve. I know you're all aware of that, and there are a few of us in lockdown, but it is what it is, and it's what you make of it that matters. So I'm just going to take a moment to share this myself into a few places. And if you lot could do the same, that would be most appreciated. We've got a few people jumping on. Good evening to you, David. Good evening, Paula. Good evening, Anne. Thank you very much for joining me, David. Thank you for the compliment. So let me just continue to share to a couple of places, just so we can, have as many people as we can that may be, sitting at home alone on Christmas Eve. That was the whole idea of doing this later on Christmas Eve, for people who found themselves not doing anything. And of course, now with lockdown, excuse me, not always looking up at the camera while I'm just sharing this to a couple of different groups. I've just done 2 hours actually on the lovely Eileen's show, Love Angels Light. I've just been on there for 2 hours doing hers, and had some extraordinary connections with spirit. So let's hope that all continues. And throughout the night, I will be stopping and drawing some names out of my little bag for some prizes and presents to be posted out to you guys. That is your little gift from me for liking and sharing my feeds for the last, I think the last 4. So yeah, so I'm getting a few more jump on. Anne Marie, thank you so much. Isn't that sweet? It's always a pleasure, as I was just saying on Eileen's show. It's an honor and a pleasure to work with spirit and alongside spirit in such trying times. Samantha, thank you for jumping over from the other show. Awesome. Welcome to mine. I hope you can enjoy this evening's. Look at all you wonderful people saying Merry Christmas. Isn't that lovely? I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas too. That's why I'm here. It's all very good. All very good. Oh, you're jumping in quick. I'll come back to that. I just wanted to scroll down and acknowledge everybody that's jumped on. I want to probably start in thanking a few people. We did have a mix-up with some of the prizes and gifts that were going out tonight, where some of them turned up at the very last moment this afternoon. They should have been here a few weeks ago, but they weren't, and so that was a bit of a mix-up. However, anyone who wins anything tonight, I will be posting them out probably the first week of January, and if your name is pulled out of the my little bag, and I'll read those out as we go, then if you can inbox me your address, of course, so I can send you a gift, that would be amazing. But I want to start by thanking I actually want to thank, I can't name the actual area or the name of the place due to privacy reasons, and you'll understand why. But I want to welcome on board tonight a number of domestic violence victims. I have spent a bit of time this week and in previous weeks with them, and I want to thank Harvey Norman for the laptops that they donated for the victims at some of the refuges that they can use to watch tonight, and then they can keep them for further growth amongst themselves. If that's the way I want to say that. I want to thank the refuges for inviting me in, and your Christmas gifts more of them, will be delivered in the next week or so, because I certainly won't get there tomorrow, with some of the boxes only arriving late this afternoon. So a big shout out to, as I go down the list, to Mr. Luke Eastwood. He is the son of a very dear friend of mine. I lost Gary almost 3 years ago, and his loving wife Sandra. She was a great lover of what I do. She was a great lover of some famous products and whatever that we used. And unfortunately, she lost her life a few months ago. And Luke, out of the kindness of his heart, had boxed up a fair amount that she had there in the home, and shipped those across that I could add to the baskets for the domestic violence refuges, and to also add into some of the gifts that I'll be giving away tonight. So a huge shout out to Luke Eastwood for doing that, and I appreciate. It may have been a tough job for him in going through all that, but it's what Sandra and Gary would have loved, and their legacy lives on time and time again. So divine blessings to them. And I'd like to thank Stacey Shefflin, a very famous makeup artist and an owner of a makeup brand in Florida in the USA. Her brand is YBF, which stands for Your Best Friend, and she makes a beautiful range of cosmetics. She was actually one of the guitar players in the background of the Robert Palmer Simply Irresistible song a few years ago. So, and she's an international model, on 12 different covers of fabulous magazines. A huge thank you to Nick Shavaz. He's the hairdresser to the stars in Beverly Hills. He sent across some wonderful boxes of products that I can also add to the baskets for the refuge, and along with giving you some gifts as well. So a wonderful thought from him, and he got his ancestors are actually Apache Indians, so he's a stunning man, and I have really high respect for him. I'd like to also. I'm not sure who else I have to thank. I have to thank myself for doing all that. No, no, I'm kidding. It's been a really tough year for many, and most of you who know me and know me well know and understand my ride with the law and so forth with domestic violence many years ago, and with all the studies that I've done. In counselling and psychotherapy and stuff like that, I have majored in also family law and whatnot, and I have a passion about helping people in the domestic violence refuges, because there was nobody there to help me as such when I had to go through mine. So I made it a rule of thumb that I would do anything that was humanly possible to help those people in many, many ways to get through, because I just know how tough it is. But also, too, in hindsight, I'm living proof of that. You can think two ways in domestic violence. You can think, wow, my whole life has been turned upside down and my whole life has been ruined and whatever else. And you can go down a path in which, can lead you into, it can lead you into alcohol, drugs, gambling, homelessness. It can lead you to alcoholism. It can use you to a whole lot of stuff. And it's more about you sort of taking a breath, going, do you know what, this is a really tough part of my life. But if I get on the right path, I will come out the other side bigger and better than what I was in the beginning. And this is what I pride myself on, achieving and doing year after year after year. I'm forever bettering myself, and I will have an announcement in January, not too far away, on another part of, not necessarily another part of me, but something else that I've now created and done, and going to do it with bells on. So that will be a further announcement coming in January in regards to that. And yeah, it's my my roles are evolving all the time. And the more I can add to the quality and the quantity of what I can bring to you and to bring to my clients, to me, it's a pat on my back for kind of going, do you know what? I can be mistreated from a child onwards, but I will still come out on top because I know who I am and I'm proud of who I am, and I don't shy away from that one little bit. And we were talking on the other show that it's certainly not about ego. I have no ego at all. What I have is compassion and loyalty and integrity with everything that I do, that I bring the very best to people and help them in many, many ways, from psychic readings to psychotherapy to counseling and holistic counseling, to helping domestic violence victims, to helping them through the legal side of things, and past traumas, grief, all sorts of things, empowering the inner warrior in ourselves to become the best version of ourselves, to act upon being confident in yourself when people have stripped you of your self-esteem or your self-worth. This is all part of who I am and what I bring to the table. But tonight, of course, we're here for Christmas Eve, and tonight we will be touching on many psychic readings. Thank you, Lynn. There's a lot more of you that join. Thank you so much. Alison, America's sincere thank you from all of your time and energy you've given your viewers throughout the year, and also for the kindness of your heart for helping all those victims of domestic abuse. Alison, thank you so much for that. It's it is. I take it on board, and I take it seriously. Excuse me. And I it is very much close to my heart. Yeah, Michael, good on you too. Helping others, apart from your psychic stuff as well. Good for you, because many of us are gifted with so many other things that when we are on a stage of doing our psychic stuff, people don't understand what else we do in our lives, where we continue to help others. And it is, as I said, it's just me, but it's all good. I do want to say that if we get any trolls tonight, being Christmas Eve, I probably expect many, and don't respond to them. Mystique works on her own on these shows. Next year it could be different. Next year I could be inviting other guests in, and so forth. But we will play that by ear. But if you get a message from anybody tonight saying inbox me for an accurate reading, which is the general thing they always say, then please don't act on that, because that person is a hacker, and that person, it just wants your money, and they will hack your bank account. So please, 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 don't entertain them, one iota, because it's just, they get their kicks and they get their rocks off from doing that. And if that's how they get their rocks off, well, good on them. It's obviously not a very good way to do that. I can think of better ways to be doing that, instead of annoying other people's work as such. So yeah. So anyway, so let's get into our first one. Would love a message from my spirit guides if possible, please. Very difficult Christmas for my kids this year. Need some assurance that a loved one is around us with some guidance. Thank you. Sorry, I admire that you're open to all of that, but I also want to say to you that I'm actually sure in many ways that you actually know who is around you, and who is around you quite often. I do want to direct you though to an elder gentleman who seems to come across. I actually had someone similar tonight that came across as if they were in the military, because they saluted to me as they came through. But I'm not getting the salute, but I'm certainly getting the stance. I'm certainly getting the uprightness, the standing tall, and the confidence that's a style of person in the military would portray. But I'm not getting the salute. Earlier on I did get a salute from somebody, which was quite wonderful, but I'm not getting the salute from this gentleman. But I want to say to you that I feel that this gentleman is in his he's about 75, 76, and unfortunately as he's got me right now, like in the center of my chest, past of something to do with his chest. I do want to lean towards the heart as such. But I need to sort of say to you that part of me wants to give you a hug because I know how much you miss him. But the other part of me wants to say how, excuse me, this is the thing going on. Part of me also wants to say that, he's aware of, he happens to be aware of some struggles, and you've done everything right. You've done everything to the best of your ability, which again I applaud you for. But you don't seem to think that you have. You've taken it on board to sort of say to yourself, I could have actually done more. But when you're saying that to yourself, your subconscious is saying, well, if you thought you could have done more, then why didn't you? So you're a bad person. So you're allowing your subconscious as such to come in on that and virtually fuel it. And I say that with the greatest respect. And I want to say that this gentleman that is here, and I actually think he's more of an uncle before I want to say granddad. He has granddad tendencies, but I don't believe that he is. I think he's more of an uncle that may have been your godfather, which is probably why he's showing me that there's a possibility of a granddad, but I'm thinking more of a godfather. It seems to be that he is saying that even, and correct me if I'm wrong, even as a child, you allowed your subconscious to continually doubt what you do and doubt what you bring to the table. Even when you're presenting or talking in conversations, you shy away from bigger things, if that makes sense. And that's normally not like you. But when you're in that mode of a bit of doubt, you don't want to take on the bigger things. You don't want to stand out in the crowd in the conversation. And do you know what? He's saying that it's okay that you do, because you're a person that's a little bit like me in the sense of when you need to talk about something or you want to talk about something, whether it be at a party or a social gathering or up on a stage, if you're not 100% certain on what you're going to talk about, you have room there for a little bit of doubt. But when you're 100% sure on what you're presenting and what you're saying, you actually have no issue with delivering it. But some days you just allow it to get the better of you. So, so he is saying, smarten, his words are, smarten up, girly. So I don't know whether he said that to you when you were a teenager, because he's showing me the number 17. So I think it was when you were 17 that obviously that he had played a role somewhere in your life, because he's pointing out 17. So 17 has to be relevant for something, because he keeps pointing at me for 17. But, he's here to kind of say, everything will be okay. You've just gone into this little bit of this doubting thing, where he says, all your life you've gone into this, how to get to the other side of that. But I want to add into that, there is obviously triggers that take you back to that point of you having, excuse me, of you having some doubt within yourself. If that is the case, then we need to work out like why those triggers are happening, like what actually happened way back here for that trigger to come in and kind of still circulate. Do you know what I mean? So there is a method to my madness in what I say there. So something has happened when you're quite young that has made you feel that you weren't adequate in something, or you felt you did something wrong when you actually didn't do anything wrong. And henceforth, it's a trigger that kind of happens on through life, that when you hear that trigger, it takes you back to that point. So I need to kind of address that, because that's where Spirit is taking me with that. So I hope all that resonates with you. Sorry, but he is saying you are perfectly fine, and Christmas will be very, very different for a lot of people, myself included, and it's about doing the best you can with what you've been given. Day by day things will change. Next year will be so different for a lot of people, but right now just hang in there and just do what you can do. There's no point worrying about what ifs, because what ifs aren't going to eventuate. You're just building and putting negativity into yourself with what ifs. So the what ifs have got to stop. You focus on what you can control right now. Yep. and things will be better for you. So I hope that helps. So I'm sure if you can let me know, that would be fantastic. And much love to you. Wow, so many people have jumped on. Okay. I'm just scrolling down to the bottom just to make sure I don't have anything. Any trolls I was talking about. So, and now let me go back to where I was. Merry Christmas to you too, Lola. I hope everything is well with you. So many people. Okay. I'll come back to you, Annie. If anyone is liking sharing tonight's feed, can you please let me know? Because your name will be added to the barrel. So if you're sharing this feed tonight, please inbox me and let me know so your name can be added, or say it here on the screen so I can quickly scribble your name down and add you. All the names from the last couple of weeks have gone in there, which is fab. Okay, Annie. Merry Christmas to you as well. What about home up the coast? Look, I actually don't feel that you'll be buying anywhere just right at this present time. I don't see an actual move for you. God, till about May. I have to be perfectly honest. I don't think the timing is right, nor do I think all the finances are in order. I'm being told to kind of hold off. I'm also okay. I'm also being shared a little bit of information which may not really be required to me normally, but in hindsight is if you do, you won't get the asking price for what you're going to have, what you're losing behind down here. So henceforth, you won't be taking as much up there that you probably think that you will. So I'm being directed to let you know to hold off just for a little while, because now is not the right time. January won't be the right time either. Coming into late Feb, possibly doing something in late Feb, early March seems to be far more feasible. But also too, with the shift and everything that's going to happen with COVID, and the fearfulness of COVID seems to kind of disappear to some point, then this is going to bring market prices to a different level. And this is probably why Spirit has directed me to say no, now is not the right time. But also too is what they're saying is that you're not 100% ready. Mentally, yes, you're ready. Mentally, you would have loved to have done it a couple of months ago, to be quite honest. So mentally, you're ready. Physically and financially, Spirit has directed me to saying no, sit tight for a little bit longer and revisit it towards the end of February, early March. Okay, so I hope that helps you, and please let me know how that goes for you. Okay. Oh, I got here. I had Samantha. I have my mum on here, Kerry. Would love for her to get a message from her son. That's lovely of you, Samantha. Can mum jump on with her picture or not? Doesn't really matter if she doesn't. Okay, it doesn't look like she is, but that's okay. That's okay. I want to say to both, like Samantha and to Kerry, there's a high level of anxiety around this type of year, and I want to say there is a date coming up, I believe in February, that is very significant to your question, and I want to say early Feb. There seems to be some sort of I'm being directed by Spirit, who is showing me a calendar, who is pointing to virtually the first week of February, circling like the whole week. So it seems to be something that's very, very important, the first week of February. And but I also want to Sorry, I also want to say as well that it's really hard for a mother or a father to lose a child before, they go themselves. Burying your own child would have to be the most heart-wrenching thing I could ever imagine on the planet. And my heart is with you, Kerry. And I know you have a great sense of intuition. I feel that you connect in some way, but I want to say to you that you're doubting what you hear. You're doubting what you hear from your son. And I don't know what the I'm sorry is about. I seem to be hearing, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But I'm not sensing why he feels the need to say I'm sorry so many times. Apart from what I see as I'm being shown, like as a teenager, or actually even younger, a bit of a rebel, a bit of a spirit shows me like a bit of a tiger in disguise type thing, like someone who ran around all the time and got into everything. So a bit of a rascal, I would dare to say, but a cheeky one and a loving one at that, but a bit of a rascal who, got into everything and really kind of ticked some people off at times by doing so. But to him, he felt like he was just expressing, and using up his energy because he was so energetic. So energetic, and so much so that he even at the end of the day would tire himself out and would kind of like sit there and kind of go, oh, I've done nothing all day but run around like a lunatic. But it's it is just an extraordinary young man who has a heart of gold. And the smile, because I can't stop smiling myself, the smile that he shared and the joy that he shared with others as well as yourself is quite magnificent. So, but yeah, taken far too soon. But a small message from Mum to Mum. He's also saying, apart from saying I'm sorry, and I guess that's quite personal. I won't elaborate on that one any further. But there's also too saying, Mum, stop, Mum, go out and do some stuff. You don't need me by your side to go do something. He doesn't want her. I don't know whether something was in his throat, or something was around his throat as such. There's, I'm seem to be, I kind of feel like I'm being grabbed in the throat as such. But yeah, it's like that. She feels like she's not allowed to enjoy life without him, and he's saying yes, she can. It doesn't matter what her age is. He's saying that get out and do some stuff, and he's saying that her smile lights up a room just as much as what his did. So Samantha and to Kerry, my heart is with you both. I hope you both have a wonderful Christmas, and put a plate out for him tomorrow. He'll swing by. If you put and that's for anyone that's listening tonight, and we did touch on this on the other show, is that the greatest respect that you can pay spirit on a day like Christmas Day, on a day like their birthday, on a day of their passing, or a day on your birthday, whichever the case may be, is when you're sitting down for dinner or for lunch, or if you're having a party as such, put an extra plate out for spirit. It doesn't have to have food on it, and nor does the glass have to be filled. When you put an empty plate and a chair, and you have to put put a chair to the table as well. Excuse me, I've got something in my eye. You're setting a place for them, and as I said, you're not putting food or anything on that plate, but spirit looks as that as an open invitation for them to come and join you, and it is the highest respect that you can pay spirit. So please, tomorrow, any one of you that are feeling a bit saddened that your loved one is not with you for Christmas, or you're just feeling a little bit crappy, in regards to if you're locked in COVID and can't be around, loved ones past or present, put a plate out. Spirit will be guided to where they're needed. And you will feel, I guarantee you 100%, that if you do this, that you will feel spirit You will smell something. Someone else might start a conversation about the person that you're wanting to, to turn up. Stories will be, shared across a table. You will feel spirit. You will smell spirit, and you'll kind of go, that's the aftershave they wore. Or, oh my God, I just got a whiff of mum's favorite perfume. These are all signs from spirit. So please, if you're doing that, just take a moment tomorrow, and you don't have to say anything. You put the plate out and the chair and everything, and spirit, that's an automatic sign of respect that, you're welcoming spirit into your world to share Christmas with you, and they will. They certainly will. So Samantha, I hope that helps you. And yeah, just let me know. That'd be great. That would be fab. Making sure I don't have any trolls. I couldn't stand having trolls tonight. Okay. I'll go back to where I was. Okay, Michael. So nice of you to say. Thank you. Just wanted to get a general reading from you if possible. Michael, on live feeds that I don't really like generals on live feeds because it's just, I get too involved. But anyway. Okay, what I'm being shown to with you, really unusual because we can't travel. So, I've drawn the travel card, even though we can't travel as such. But I'm also being guided into. Now, I have to tell the viewers that I actually know that you have a business and you started that just recently. So that's something I'm not hearing from spirit, because I actually know that for a fact. And anyone who wants to, follow Michael on Instagram, he has quite a good little business on there that you can all have a look at. And but what I'm being shown, and I find it really odd, because I don't feel that you have even hinted to going into partnership with someone, because I think that you have, and please, with the greatest respect, I think that you have trust issues in that regard, because I think that someone has done something in the past to you that clearly is why that you don't probably really want to go into partnership with anyone. But I'm being directed to tell you that you will, and virtually being told as of going out to the end of the financial year. So I wonder if it's a thing that you do it on your own to the end of the financial year, and then you contemplate it, or you contemplate it before you get to that point, because I'm being shown that someone else comes into the business. I'm being shown that the other person is a little bit flippant about signing a contract, but you, with your trust issues, A, you're a bit hesitant, but B, I think that you can see qualities in this person that would actually bring and enhance your business even more. So I actually want you to consider it. But I would say to you, get a contract really tightly drawn up. And I mean really tightly drawn up, to give you the confidence to be able to have that partnership. I hope the person that, if you have someone in mind and they're actually watching too, I hope they don't get offended at that. But it is to cover yourself. Anyone that goes into business with anyone, in this day and age, I mean, COVID's hit us, twice now. Yes, it's, apparently it's gone overseas. I'm sorry, not gone overseas. It's overseas, hitting badly for the third time. And we may get even a third wave here. I mean, who knows? I'm hoping not, because all the, the planes and that aren't flying. But in saying that, you have to take that into consideration. You have to be aware that in current circumstances, it's probably really bizarre to be going, to be thinking along that line. However, in current circumstances, you might need that second person in on you to help you explore and expand. So I'm hearing explore and expand, but I'm also seeing this really tight contract. So let me know how that goes for you, because I feel that once this contract is signed and you feel a lot better with things, it's almost like Spirit wants to show me, the world is your oyster. So I think this other person will bring other stuff into your business that you may not have thought of, or you may not have the and please with respect, the capabilities of doing so, but they do. So they bring something different to the table. And I think, my friend, that it will just enhance you in what you do. Yeah. So let me know how you feel about that, because I think with your trust in others, that it might be a delicate subject, but I really do believe it's worth exploring, because that's the only place Spirit is directing me to. Okay. So I have to run with that. Okay. So thank you so much. Good evening, Samantha. And aren't you lovely, saying Merry Christmas to everybody? Tony, hello, my friend. Jikwa, hello, how are you? I hope everybody's well. Okay, we've hit just over the half an hour mark. So I actually want to draw. Lynn, hello, I'll get to yours in a minute. I actually want to draw my first person out. Is everybody excited? I don't have the gifts to show you, because I got some boxes delivered at the death this afternoon. So they haven't been wrapped. It's my little thing that I'm... See, everyone's name in there. So it's all it. So I'm shaking. I better not look. Looking away. And I have one. So my first Christmas gift is going to... Oh, I've drawn two, so I'm going to... Sorry, I haven't unwrapped. I'm going to put one back. Oh, are you kidding me? Spirit does work in mysterious ways. Who did I just read for? That is insane. I'm not signing a contract with you. I'm not going into business with you. That is really bizarre. I cannot believe that. Well, I always say that I love the way that Spirit works, and I love working with Spirit. So, Michael, God love you. You are my first draw for the night. Could you please inbox me your address so I can send a gift to you? I wonder if that's going to be the theme of the night. Oh, that would be so funny if it was. Yeah, please inbox me privately your address so I can get something off to you. And as I said, I will be posting them in the early part of January. So if you don't get it for a couple of weeks, please don't beat me up by saying, oh, you're full of it. I haven't got it. I haven't got anything, because I will be sending them out in January. So I'm letting you know that tonight. So you're all very aware. Okay. I like that. And yes, I have massive trust. It's typical. I have to have full control and learning to let go. I have no idea who this other, and I welcome them. Thanks. No problem, Michael. And I just saw your other. I know. Spirit is just wonderful. Spirit is wonderful. And I so love. Oh, see, Eileen, God love you. Eileen is who I was just doing her show with her. She runs Love Angels Light, and we just did 2 hours on her show. And yeah, fabulous. And Merry Christmas to you too, Eileen and Oz. It was my pleasure to be beside you tonight with Mel. No, you can't be shocked. You cannot be shocked. I just thought that was hilarious. See? Spirit, working with Spirit is just divine. Okay. Now, where was I? Lynn. It is my sister's anniversary of her passing tonight. Is there any messages for me? Lynn, I'm very, very sorry, and it must be a really difficult time being Christmas Eve. But you would have heard what I said about putting the plate and setting a space out for Spirit tomorrow. If you can please do that, that'd be great. And with all due respect, she just popped in and said, don't forget her whiskey. That's a bit cheeky of her, isn't it? don't forget her whiskey. So clearly she would, excuse me, clearly she would like to share a glass with you and embrace the day with you. But she is saying, don't forget her whiskey. I love the way her spirit says things that just still makes me laugh time and time again all these years later. I was saying to Eileen earlier, it is such a blessing to connect so well with spirit. If the whiskey is your choice of drink as well, please raise a glass to your sister tomorrow, even tonight if you wish. Although we are already, we're pushing 10 past 11. That's okay. And what I want to say to you about her and from her is that you're you're two peas in a pod. At sometimes when you were younger, very different, very different in the way you spoke, in the way you saw things. But later on in life, you banded together and realized that you two were like a kind of like a force to be reckoned with. And that's really endearing because the love you shared with one another is so very, very deep. But I also I'm being directed to, it's either because she's showing me her she's showing me her like the bottom of her chin and her face. So it's either an earring or earrings, I should say, or a necklace that you have of hers, or that you both had one each of it, but you still, of course, you still have hers, but have yours, but you have hers now as well. I don't want to say it's a heart pendant. I mean, I'm being shown a heart, but a heart pendant is very kind of, it's not unusual as such. Like, a lot of people have a heart pendant, so that's why I don't want to say that. But she is showing me a heart. Unless her heart unless your heart still breaks for her. But in saying that, she's saying that she's okay. She knows that you miss her. She knows very well that you love her. You do have something of hers, which she's saying that you have treasured a lot throughout your life, and it doesn't need to be put away as such. You don't need to be that careful with it, she said, because it can be worn. It can, you can get it out. It doesn't always have to be tucked away, is what she's saying there too. But I understand that you're trying to read a book and you're not getting through X amount of chapters. I'm not sure why. I'm kind of being shown that the chapters are ringing too close to home. But she's saying get past it and read it because it's a damn good book. Very cute message that she seems to be telling you what to do, even in a book. She's telling you what to do, which I think is hilarious. But yeah, but always much love to you, Lynn. I thank you for all the support that you show me and what I do, and it's always lovely to have you on board on my pages. So thank you very much. Jenny, good evening. I hope you're very well. Jacqueline, how are you? How is your work going? How did that pan out? That'd be nice to know. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate the comment. Thank you, Cod. Jay, how are you? Merry Christmas to you too. I hope you haven't been thrown into turmoil. It is what it is, isn't it? We can't change it. Yes, Christmas Eve, almost. Shortly there will be on Christmas Day, but that's okay. Joanne, Merry Christmas to you. What are these beautiful people tonight? How awesome is this? Ellie, good evening to you. Lisa, looking forward to 2021 and hopefully getting a chance to meet you. I hope to meet you too, Lisa. I think it would be awesome. I was going to also I've told you we're going to start the afternoon tea or morning tea or whatever with Ms Tique. That will be like meets and greets, or it could be still reading as such, or it could be just a group of like-minded people that just want to come along and meet me, and we sit around and have a chat, whether we chat about spiritual things and whether there's readings involved in that as well. We could make numerous things out of that afternoon tea with Ms Tique. So I'm looking forward to starting that. I do have an announcement coming in January of something that, you know, I'm just shaking things up a bit. I'm doing something a little bit different. It's exciting. It's part of who I am. A little bit separate though from Ms Tique is my psychic stuff. I've always used Ms Tique, my Ms Tique name as for my psychic things, but we'll see what happens in January. A little hint. A little hint. Lynn, good evening. Merry Christmas to you. You guys are awesome. Tammy, good evening to you. Bit of a typo there. Yep, oops, fixed. Joanne, hello. Oh, thank you. It's just a little heart, a crystal heart pendant on my maybe if I get rid of your comment, it's just a oh, wrong way, a crystal heart pendant on my chain. It's very, very sweet. I would love to hear from my son. Okay. I've had a few of these tonight. It's and I understand the importance of speaking with speaking with loved ones anytime, let alone Christmas. Christmas is very sacred and important to, you know, a lot of people. Kerry, I feel your heart aches. I feel I know this is a public forum and I'm mindful a lot of what I say on a public forum, but I feel with you. I mean, you've asked the question to hear from your son. I feel that your heart aches so much that you cry out for him. I said earlier that it would be such an emotional drain on any parent that loses a child. You know, whether that be through miscarriage, through losing them as a child, a teenager, a young adult, any way, shape or form, losing a child is the hardest thing to do. You know, the most exciting thing is to give birth to a child, but to lose one is extremely painful. So I'm very sorry for your loss, but I'm also very grateful for your strength, for the dignity and how you hold yourself. You do connect with him. You know, you do connect with him. You speak with him often. And I want to direct you to, if I walked into your front door and went to the left, Spirit is guiding me to the left-hand side where I understand there's a lounge suite, but there's also like I wouldn't call it a coffee table, but there's like a fixture, maybe I would use the word sideboard as such, and it has his picture. And there is a picture of him on his own, but there's also a picture of you and him together and other family members in that as well. I want to say to you, can you check that picture tonight? The family one seems to be moved because he's saying to me that he's already been around tonight. And he's why is he talking about that? He's also laughing about a green sweater. I haven't even used the word sweater for a long time. It's normally jumper or pullover or sloppy Joe or something. He's directing me to a green sweater and telling me that it's the most, excuse me, but he's telling me it's the most hideous thing he's ever come across. But there seems to have been something funny, was it a prank present or something that this green sweater is, because he's having a laugh. So as much as as much as I feel your pain, I'm certainly not laughing at you, one iota. I'm trying to embrace what he's bringing through here. In I mean, his love and respect for you is just, it's wonderful. It really opens my heart to feel that. But he's laughing about this green sweater, as he calls it. But he's saying that he's already moved a picture today. And he wants you to get up and check that, because when you realize that, you'll kind of understand that why he was there. And have you been in his bedroom of late? Like and I'm talking about like only virtually in the last 6 to 8 hours. Have you put something in there? Because I don't think you've removed something. I think that you've gone in there for a reason to put something in there. And he's kind of sort of saying, oh, you're still doing all the motherly things. You're still, you're still looking after me, and you always will. He's going to be forever. Excuse me, by your side. I have a spirit that just keeps annoying me in the throat. He's going to be, by your side forever. And the love and the respect that you have for one another is outstanding. And definitely gone way too soon. But there's nothing that could have been done about that. He's saying, and as much as you feel that you could have prevented certain things, you couldn't. You couldn't prevent that at all. So he starts sort of saying, stop feeling that. Stop feeling the emotion with that. Embrace him for all the loving memories that you have. Yeah. Let me know what your thoughts are, and let me know about the the picture being moved. Yeah. That's funny. The read about us too in the pod is true. Her drink she enjoyed wasn't whiskey. I just gave my mum whiskey, but we all raised a glass to her account. Oh, okay. And I have her jewelry stashed away in case it gets lost. I did have only one at the time, but gave them to my mum now. Okay. There's certainly a lot of relevance in there to what I was hearing, and I think the whiskey was funny. I laughed at the whiskey because it just, it just seems so funny how she jumped in. So if that was mum's favorite drink, well, obviously she's jumping in there for a reason, and letting me know that. Okay. I did find one troll at the bottom, so I've got rid of that person. So anyway, let's see where we're at. So many of you have joined tonight. It's just so wonderful. It really is. Okay, why didn't that come up? My nan passed 41 years ago tonight. A few days I lost a mother figure child with a friend 4 days ago. I miss my hubby. All I want is to find a special guy who can accept me for who I am. I can feel love again. Merry Christmas. Tanya, I think you have a beautiful, beautiful heart. I'm really sorry that you've missed, you've lost, all these people in a short period of time. Your nan, God rest her soul, is a yellow-flowered person. I'm immediately being shoved the yellow flower in my face. And because the first person you're speaking of is your nan, I believe that is your nan. And I believe that there is some significance with the yellow flower with her. And it's my understanding that she grew some flowers herself, but although not the blooms that she would have wanted to get from certain flowers. I think the way she's trying to tell me is that the ones that she really wanted to grow didn't, and the ones that she didn't really want to grow, of course, they did. So she was a bit of a topsy-turvy in the garden, so to speak. But I want to touch on what you say about, all you want is that special guy for you. I don't want to generalize it as such. There is a lot of us who, want a special person in our lives that just wants us for who we are and accepts us for who we are. But I have to take note of the COVID situation overseas as well as here, and I'm not sure where you're located, but I have to be mindful that while everybody is under certain conditions, we're not going to be going out meeting as many people as we'd like. We're not going to be in situations where we can be in a lot of close contact with people. So therefore, if Spirit shows me 6 months, for instance, then I would add 6 months onto that. I would say, it's impossible for about a year. And I'm not I'm not being shown anyone coming into your life really soon, and I have to be mindful of that. However, one of my spirit guides is saying, what are you doing about manifesting who you really want? You said in your message, all you want is to find a special guy who can accept you for you. But what do you want in a male? So spirit is asking me to confirm with you, when you're meditating, or when you're manifesting, or when you're journaling, are you just writing down that you want someone special to accept you for who you are? Because that's one quality. If that's all you're asking from the universe to give you, then you'll be sent a whole lot of people that have got no other qualities that you're looking for, and they may not be the right match at all. You need to be more specific in asking what you really want. So if you want someone that, it's lovely that we can have someone that just appreciates who we are and wants us for us, because that means that person doesn't have any judgment, or doesn't want to be a control freak. That's wonderful. But, I'm being directed to you putting down on pen and paper exactly what you want. So if you wanted someone that was 6'5", for instance, then you ask the universe to send you someone that is 6'5", and if you want brown hair, if you want them, sexy moustache or whatever, or I was being funny on that one, but you kind of got to write down all the qualities that you're looking for in a male. And some people over my years of doing this have said, oh, but I've been manifesting for a man in my life for years and it never happens. And, I always meet the wrong person. I go, well, what are you asking for? I'm just asking for a man to come into my life. That means the universe will send you anyone. Who wants anyone to come along? Some people can be quite vulnerable that they would accept anyone that just come along, but that's not what you're wanting. You're wanting someone that really does accept you for who you are, and you have some beautiful qualities about yourself. It's more about, yes, I want that, but I want this, and I want this, and I want them to have this attribute, and I want them to have this sort of personality, because then the universe knows the kind of character that you want alongside. The universe can't work out everyone's character, everyone's personality. It's, you got to ask for what you want. And I know that to some people that might sound ridiculous, but what is that other saying, that when you want something in life, if you don't ask, you don't get? Well, if you want a job, yes, it's all right for you to say, I want a job, or, universe, I need a job, I want a job, send me a job. It might send you all these shit jobs, excuse my French, but it just might do that, because you're not asking for anything specific. The universe works in ways that, if you ask the right things, you will receive the right things. So, Tanya, I hope that helps you. I say everything with the greatest respect, always have and always will, and thank you very much for your message. Tammy, thank you. It's always good. There should be a lot of people like you around. It took me years to get out of my situation. Tony, look, I didn't get out of my situation at a drop of a hat. I was married in 1990. I was pregnant. Sorry, I gave birth to my son 91, and I was gone in 94. But virtually the day after I gave birth, my ex-husband was extremely controlling, and telling me that I couldn't even walk into the third room, or when I had a shower, I had to chamois out the shower, and it started with crappy stuff like that until it got to humongous things. And as much as I left in 1994, I was still in the court system in 2006. So it was not an easy ride, and I have many, many scars, but I embrace those scars. If someone doesn't believe me that I know what they're going through, if I'm talking to a domestic violence victim and they say, oh, but you're just a paid speaker, you don't know what you're talking about, and I go, oh, yes, I do. And if they still don't believe me, because the first part of domestic violence is the anger that you have because you can't believe it's happened to yourself, and You know, I just take off my shirt. I show them my scars. And if I did it once, I shaved my head for cancer and realised how bad some of the scars were for when I was set on fire. And I don't say that for sympathy. It's a case of my hair has product and hairspray in it, and putting matches to it, it was just going to go, and it did go, and I've never seen the actual scars as such, but yeah, a number of years ago I shaved my head for cancer, and I saw them all and went, wow, I won't be shaving my head again, because everybody was like, oh my God, what happened to you? And I can tell my story time and time again to help others, but I just didn't expect that kind of reaction, because I just didn't realise how bad those scars were. But in the light of all that, you know, this is where a lot of the work that I do, and the more expansion on the stuff that I do in that regard, is going to help numerous people, and it's going to set me aside differently and greater, I guess, because I'm living proof that you can go through all that, and so are you, my love. You know, you've gone through it. So when you've gone through it, you don't take that avenue of gambling and alcohol and you know, drugs and all that sort of stuff, because you understand your self-worth. You understand that you're worth fighting for yourself, let alone if there's any kids involved. You certainly fight for your kids first, you know. And it's a tough world, and there's not many people that are bold enough to get on a stage or whatnot and relive it time and time again, just so they can empower others to understand that, you know, you've been there and you have done that, and you will help them out of that anger, that grief, that self-pity, that the self-esteem taking a crash. You know, you'll get them through all that. And as I said, I'm living proof of that in many, many ways. But thank you, Tony, for your Samantha. Oh, you don't see me every day. It's not always on point. I think that's hilarious. But thank you so much. Some people call my hair a bird's nest, so that's all good. I don't really care. Ellie, good evening. Thank you. First time watching. That's brilliant. I hope you're enjoying. Where are we? What is that? Wyoming. How are you? You've asked just for a reading. Can you get back to me? Oh, you already have. I was going to say, can you get back to me and ask me a specific question? I need to know where will be the connection between me and it. Go ahead. Have we touched on this before? Are you asking when will the connection between you and it go ahead, or I need to know where? Because I actually don't see the connection progressing from this point forward. I feel that it's very much a stalemate. I feel like that there's something that's blocking you, and whether that's COVID has kept you apart, I'm not sure. I don't think it's just that, though, because Spirit is guiding me to virtually saying, excuse me, virtually. Oh, we've got many spirits around tonight. I've just had like three spirits walk straight past my door. They're not even introducing themselves either. How funny is that? Oh, well, they'll be for someone later. That's okay. I feel that's more than just COVID that's keeping the connection apart. I feel there's Spirit is using the word mismanaged. I don't know why the word mismanaged is there, because it's certainly nothing that's that should have that word. But since they're saying it, I've got to run with it. Mismanaged. I would say more so that communication has been misinterpreted. That's the word I would use rather than mismanaged. I'm just wondering if one party is more into this than the other party. And I have to say it as I hear it, because it's been shown to me that one party wants to give themselves more than the other, and therefore the other is kind of sitting back, and I feel like sometimes they're wasting your time, to be quite honest. I wonder if you can please enlighten me to the situation, because Spirit is giving me nothing but misinterpretation of words, yourself being taken for granted, and the need for you to feel like if you offer more or if you go to give more, that the connection will be stronger and it will proceed and everything will be a-okay. I just don't feel it as being a-okay, and I don't want to be the Grinch, especially on Christmas. I don't want to be the Grinch, but I just feel that connection is not the right energy connection, and I feel that there's some excuse me. I feel that there's some vulnerability in. Oh, excuse me. I haven't got COVID. I trust I haven't got COVID. I feel like there's some vulnerability within yourself from past relationships that really gives all their heart to make things work. But when you give so much all the time, some people do take that for granted, my love. So I want you to be very careful, and just let me know how you feel on that, please. That would be fabulous. I seriously don't ever stop and have a drink, but I have to. And look at the massive pink bottle I have. But yeah, Spirit got me earlier in the throat, and it seems to be a grab around my throat. Nita, I have to go with you. I'm going to be a bit of a stickler here. Ms Tique is spelled T-I-Q-U-E, not T-I-G. Just in case anyone reads your comment and they go to look me up, they won't find me with that. Just a little niggle of mine. You're asking something that's very basic as well. Let me have a look. Oh, okay. Okay, we've got a couple of things going on with you. If memory serves me correctly, from Spirit before, I touched on your career, where you were definitely being taken for granted. And I was asking, I think, for you to start looking elsewhere. And I think that you lacked a bit of confidence in that. And I can't be 100% correct on that because I can't remember absolutely everything. And a lot of psychics will say that they don't remember a thing after they've read for someone. For some unknown reason, I seem to remember things. Another quality of mine that everybody loves. What I want to say to you this year was for you, well, for a lot of people in general, but for you with your own self-confidence was a real shit of a year. You unfortunately, the people around you, like, when I say pushed you from pillar to post, that's how Spirit shows me, in a sense that you were, you weren't taken seriously on a lot of things, and some people even mocked you for some of your ideas, and I think that's a horrible thing. But that's where Spirit seems to be, showing me that, some of your qualities need to be put elsewhere. And I know it's a really bad time for be looking for work. I mean, the next round of COVID, everybody's a bit, worried. Are we going to get another lot? Are we going to get a third lot? All these sort of things that companies are starting to think what ifs has created less amount for us to look at as, wanting to, get on and have a, I'm just sorry, I just got thrown by something else I just read. It's just throwing me right off guard, sorry. Your qualities need to be, expressed and received with so much more integrity than what they are right now. And it is the wrong time of the year to be actually looking for work, because there's not much out there, I would imagine anyway, because of COVID, and again, this time of year it's Christmas and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, a lot of people aren't going to be advertising. In saying that, though, some big companies that close down for Christmas actually do take the time to put an ad up so they can come back to work and read all the responses that they've got. So that will I think if you really start to have a good look on the computer, I don't want you spending a lot of time on it, but having a good look, like if you allocate like an hour a day and really do some good searching on it instead of just like, you know, playing around, blah, blah, blah. If you do some really good searches on it, I think that you'll come across something that will, you know, kind of tickle your fancy, and you'll apply for it. And in hindsight, applying for it, if you don't hear an answer back from it, it won't be a huge issue, because you have to remember that there's people that are on holidays, and when they're on holidays, they're not going to respond. Yeah. So if it takes a little bit of time to be you know, getting back to you, don't get frustrated with it at first. You know, just don't get frustrated. It will come around when it's ready, and the right one will come around when it's ready. You just have to be already on the ball in looking for it. Yeah. So I hope that helps you, my love. Joanne. I'm going to draw another name out soon, by the way. I think we need a few more of those. I'll come back to you in a second, Joanne. I just need to... I did have a stalker I saw. Well, not a stalker. What do you call them? A troll. And... oh, Lisa says she's blocked 3 trolls. Thank you so much. I did see one. Who is this idiot? Sorry, I've got another one. There's another, excuse me, Prince KK, who is saying, hello, are you interested in a psychic reading? I take up a lot of energy from your picture. Please message me. But saying it to every single person. So, yeah. I just need to block him. Sorry. I just need to grab these when I can, so it doesn't interfere so much with everything. You never know one's scars, and I feel with all the scars I have, I'm here for a reason to help others. Yep. You are. You're definitely here, love. Definitely here for many reasons. Don't ever doubt that. Because I don't. Okay, so I think I got rid of them. And now my other coins are gone. Great. That's a problem when you have trolls. It when you're blocking them, it kind of deletes about 20 messages at the same time. But I have to get rid of them when I can. So bear with me for 2 seconds. Kerry, I did yours. Kim, before I do Kim's, I'm gonna draw another name. As you can see, I've got just so you can all see I'm doing the right thing here. Look away, look away, look away. Oh, that's that person, isn't it? What does she say? Look at me, look at me, look at me. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Okay, I have Karen Ivanovsky. Karen, I actually haven't seen your name here tonight, so if you're watching this at a later date, can you please inbox me your address, please? You are my second gift for the evening that I will send to you. So, yeah, if you can do that, that'd be fabulous. Kim, will myself and my friend meet decent men next year? Well, Kim, short answer, no. I applaud you for asking for your friend as well. However, I also kind of have to slap you a little bit because as much as I would like so much love going on in this world right now, meeting someone new and having someone new in your life is just not going to happen right now. I know you're saying next year, but even the early part of next year, it's not going to happen. There is too much uncertainty in the world right now. There is too much with COVID, with vaccines, with, things just going wrong. People's careers being, excuse my French, shit. There's all sorts of things going on that if I were to tell you that you and your friend were going to meet decent men next year, yep, no problem, then that's very easily fixed, isn't it? However, like I said to another lady, are you embracing it? Are you manifesting? If you're wanting a decent man to come into your life, manifest with all the, not all the qualifications, but with all the qualities that you want in a man. Manifest it, write it down, meditate with it, all that sort of stuff. I don't know what a decent man is to you. What you think is a decent man, I could think is not. Or what I think is a decent man, you might think is not. You've got to work on this in the correct manner. If any psychic in this world said, oh, yes, of course you're going to meet a decent man next year, well, you could. That decent man could be the plumber. And just because he does a great plumbing job and just because he quotes well and he's a decent bloke, that's what you're putting out there, my love. I don't mean to criticize you at all, but that's what you're asking for. There's many decent men in the world that are just doing who they are. They're just being who they are, and therefore they're a decent person. They're a decent human being. But you and your friend want more than that. You and your friend are wanting a loving companion. There's something crawling on my leg. Yay. To come into your life, to enlighten your life, to improve your life, for you to enjoy your life better. You're the one that has I don't know the word standards, but you're the one who has to manifest what you're actually looking for. I can't send him your way because what you're looking for, I don't know. You've got to stipulate the qualities that you want to see in a man, the qualities that you want to, sit beside someone every day. Those qualities are what you're looking for. So maybe your New Year goal, not your New Year's resolution, maybe one of your goals is to journal down exactly what you're looking for and continue to ask the universe for specifics. I'm sure you would have heard in there's a few of us psychics who always seem to say, ask me a specific question, because spirit will answer, the universe will deliver when you're really asking for something specific. So it's the same in what you're manifesting, my love. So please don't take it the wrong way. And please don't ever be offended, because I say everything with the greatest respect and I say everything with my heart. It's worth putting out to the universe exactly what you're looking for, because only you can stipulate what you really want. Yeah. So I hope that helps you, my love. Would like to know about my career and moving to UK for work. Well, moving to the UK for work's not going to happen anytime soon. I don't see that. I do see, however, you starting something totally different. You're going to be doing something and starting something very, very different to what you do right this moment. Spirit is directing me to kind of look at this and say, you could go to the UK to try and better the career you have today, but Spirit is directing me to another path and saying that you have something else up your sleeve that you've been wanting to kind of put your finger on for some time now, but you've been, what I want to say, a little bit too frightened to. Yes, under COVID, it can be very, it can be very frightening to try something new, or to go out on your own, or to even look for something new. It's can be very, very frightening. But I want you to kind of steer away from that fear. Put that fear factor away and focus on who you are and what you know that you're good at. Because until you have the confidence in you to deliver what you're really capable of, the opportunities aren't going to come your way. And that's what you've got to be very mindful of. Because when people see, excuse me, when people see the confidence in you, in what you want to deliver and what you want to create, then people see you as an asset. Yeah. If people are trying to deliver something half-heartedly or not do something to the best of their ability, then you're kind of looked upon as a bit of a liability rather than an asset. And I have to say it that way because that's how Spirit is showing me. Yeah. So it's about you standing forward and standing upright in saying, do you know what? I'm damn good at what I want to do. And, I'm going to go out there and get it. And to me, it's all about, wow, now you're going to put your best foot forward. And now you're going to embrace the real you. And then you find this newfound confidence. I mean, I often talk about the inner warrior, and the inner warrior is with males and females. And, the minute you ignite the inner warrior, or if you want to call it your inner child, the minute you ignite that is the moment that your confidence builds. And I would hope that you can put that newfound confidence right behind your thoughts about your career and embracing that for all it's worth. So I hope you understand what I'm saying there. And Spirit is pointing me into this direction of virtually saying to you, you need to add something else to the mix. You need to be more proud of yourself than, you deliver things. You deliver your if I want to call it a sales pitch, you deliver your sales pitch when you let go of fear and build the confidence within yourself. Yeah. And that's what you need to start doing. So yeah, I hope that helps you, my love. Thank you so much. Okay. Also, I've got some England viewers. Awesome. Love a message from Spirit about my relationship with partner, fiance of 8 years. We both live separately. He's been secretive and unloving. He does what's going on. We don't. We both can't see family for Christmas. So feeling sad, haven't hugged mum and dad since the beginning of the year. Okay, Helen, you've got a bit in there. Sorry, I'm just checking on this troll. I'll be 2 seconds. Okay. Helen, the first thing I want to say to you is, firstly, I think in reality, without jumping in to what Spirit is saying, is I think you've answered your own question on your relationship, because the way I read that relationship with your partner, fiance of 8 years, we both live separately. He's been secretive and unloving. If anyone is being secretive and unloving after that amount of time, are you not answering your own question? I feel there's more going on there than meets the eye. I do feel I'm a bit concerned about the secrecy, because, and only because, prior to probably some of the secrets that you're finding out that's what he's doing. And I want to say to you, with respect from a past relationship, you already seem to have trust issues, and then early in this relationship, it took you a while to build the trust issues up. And now that you have built those trust issues up, you feel like you're just back to square one again. So I feel there's a little bit of displacency there, and a little bit of unhappiness, because I think you, with all due respect, you know in your heart, you know what you're feeling. You're feeling let down. You're feeling like, have I? I hate to say this. It's Christmas Eve. You're feeling like, have you wasted your time? I don't think you've wasted your time as such, because I think the first few years, I think it was very, very loving, and I think it was a lot of fun. Have you outgrown one another would be one of my questions that Spirit is putting in my face. It's like, have they outgrown one another? Can they be adult enough to have the real tough yard conversation? And then when you've got that on your mind, and you can't see family for Christmas because of COVID and all the stresses that come with that, this is all just escalating on both sides. So all the stresses that go along with, both, regardless of whether he's being secretive, you've got the everyday stresses of work, finance, COVID, not seeing your loved ones for a long, long time, and then some insecurities on your relationship. This is festering because of all the other stresses that have been going on as well as. And my spirit guides and myself personally are directing me towards, have an open and honest conversation with him. Find out if there is no real passion there anymore, and if there's no real sense of loving one another anymore, can you just be friends and continue on in that role, so you don't lose that person altogether, if you know what I mean? Because having that friend can often be a good thing as well. So just so you don't feel like another round of being empty with losing someone else. Yeah, I just think that the tough conversations have got to be had, and then you can both respect one another for owning the situation. This is where I find that you'll feel that you both got to do. You've got to own the situation. You've got to know where one another stands. In this day and age, we can't be flippant. We can't be assuming. But we don't want to argue either. We just want to, get to the bottom of things. And if something's not working, well, let's find out why it's not working. And if something is not good for that one of the people in the relationship, well, let's find out what it is, and let's see if we can do something about it. If we can do something about it amicably, that's great. If we can't, well, then we just need to move, unfortunately move on. It's a tough call, and it really is a tough call for me to say that to you on Christmas Eve. Soon to be Christmas Day, by the way. I've just seen the time, which is 11:59. So right on, I'm going to get my bag. So right on midnight, I'm going to draw somebody else to be a winner. And it's midnight. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm so glad you're all here. I don't want anyone to feel lonely or feel yuck on Christmas Eve and now Christmas Day. I hope you're all, for anyone who is alone, I can now say today, if anyone is alone today, as I will be, if you are alone and feeling upset about anything, please don't take on the fear of being upset. If you need to have a cry on something, then have a cry and get it out of your system. Yeah. I would be guided to tell you, though, make yourself something nice to eat. Make sure, as much as not doing anything with friends or family or loved ones or whatever the case may be, and I'm aware that many people are in lockdown. I'm aware that many people have loved lost ones, whether it be from COVID or old age or from anything else. But it's not about sitting there and feeling sorry for yourself on Christmas Day. It's about, well, what can I do just to cheer myself up? Have something nice to eat. Go and sit outside and eat it outside. I mean, even if you have to watch the world go by for an hour and just do nothing, but at least you've had some nice food for yourself. Go for a walk, smell the roses. Don't always think that there's nothing nice for you to do on Christmas Day. If you've got some food in the fridge, mix something up. Just have a plate of something that maybe you wouldn't probably, have, or a drink that you may not normally have. Or if you lead a busy life, sit down and pick up a book. It's your day as much as what it could be anyone else's day. Do you know what I mean? My Merry Christmas present goes to Jan Liddell, who I actually don't think is watching tonight. I haven't seen her name pop up. So, Jan, not happy, Jan. You need to inbox me your address so I can send you a gift. I like playing Santa Claus. It's all fun. And one of her friends is here. Jacqueline, you can tell Jan that she needs to inbox me. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I feel Dad been gone 44 years. I don't feel that he's not around me anymore. I don't feel that. Okay, that doesn't quite make sense. I think Spirit has no timing. Spirit really has no time. Like people sort of say to me, how do you cope hearing Spirit all the time? Like, you can't surely be okay with hearing Spirit all the time. And you know what? The simple answer is to that. Mr. John Edwards taught me this many years ago when I met with him. It's more about because Spirit doesn't know what day of the week it is, what time it is, or they don't know they're intruding on your own personal time, is that you tell Spirit that it's not, like when I'm going to bed, I put up 4 signs. Any room has virtually 4 walls, even if one wall is windows, and you're virtually putting your hand up like a stop sign saying, Spirit, don't annoy me anymore, it's my time for bed. Please understand that. And you do that to all 4 walls. And that's letting Spirit know that it's your time to rest. And they won't annoy me. And it's the same through the day when I'm going, shopping or walking down the street or whatever. You have to put a stop. You have to say, don't annoy me. Please don't annoy me. Because they have no sense of timing. No sense of time whatsoever. But if you didn't tell them to stop, I'd be hearing them 24/7. And nobody wants that 24/7. Yeah. And I some of these shows where they, some of these series or shows that virtually say to you that, Spirit only stays around to complete unfinished business, and then they go off to the white light. Well, that's a load of rubbish. Spirit is energy. Spirit is around forever. And if you're missing Dad from 44 years ago, then even if you lived on this planet for another 40 years, that's 84 years since Dad's been gone, you will get to see him on the other side, because he's always going to be around, my love. Spirit does not go anywhere. Spirit is energy. Now, sometimes if they feel like they're invading your time or you're busy or whatnot, sometimes they don't appear for a while. And why is that? Because they got their own life to lead. You know, they catch up with other rellos and they catch up with friends and whatever else, and they're in another dimension. And that's why they don't have any time frames. They have no idea they could be, you know, sitting and yakking with their friend for 12 hours when they might think it's only an hour. Do you know what I mean? They don't have that concept because it's just energy. So I want to say to you that Dad is definitely still around. And I also want to say that he feels your stress, and I do too. I feel like I don't know why you're feeling so stressed. I mean, yes, it's Christmas time. Yes, there's been some job changes with you, I believe. And I think that you feel that there's not another job coming or there's not another job that you can go to. And yes, there is. The more you say to yourself there's not, the more there won't be, because you're putting that out to the universe that there's not. And the more you do that, the more you're pushing yourself away from being able to get something that could be really fantastic. You know, embrace your qualities, and you're going to tell me that you have none, because I know what you like. You're going to say, oh, I haven't got none. You have. You know, what have you been doing the last 10 years? And you've been doing it very well. Just because, you know, that era closed doesn't mean that you're not going to get another, you know, opportunity in the same sort of thing or something a little bit different. You know, you have to believe in yourself. Dad is definitely around you. And I want to say to you that too, that I know it's it might be tough to hear, but it's how your dad speaks. In a sense of, I don't know why all of a sudden he's saying this, but it's almost like coming through as toughen up. I know you're a pretty strong woman, but you've, with a few things that have gone on, and I want to virtually say the last 5 months, those few things have worn you down to a degree, and maybe that's why you're not opening up to feeling your dad, because when you kind of switch yourself off, you don't. You feel like you don't feel anything, and with respect, I feel there's a lot of short, sharp answers going to and from hubby, where you're not meaning to be short and sharp, but some things are just falling out of your mouth short and sharp. And I want to say that's kind of it's kind of not very pleasant for him to hear that, and he's starting to feel that there's a bit of animosity or a bit of not so much love there. So I want you to be very mindful of that and very, very careful for it. And I believe that's what Dad's trying to alert you to too. Don't fall into the traps of, if you're stressed about something, in just being short and sharp. You know, talk about it, release it. If you've got issues or whatever, or problems, like, you know, book in with me and let's go through it. Let's sort it out. Don't let it fester. Because when you're short and sharp with people, they can, you know, everyone's had a gut full of 2020. So if you're short and sharp with people, they could just virtually say, do you know what? I actually don't need that in my life. And they could walk away, my love. So just be very, very careful on that, yeah? I just feel that you just might lose a few more. I just can't have that happen to you. Not when I'm hearing it from Dad. It's just like Dad wants to give you a bit of a kick. Dad wants to give you a bit sick. Vicky, my love, I want to come to you. I saw your message up earlier. I just didn't get to it. I'm sorry. I know you still miss them. I know you miss them dearly, but I also know that I also know that they surround you with so much love, and they surround you with what I want to say is, I won't say the basic of like a gold light, but there seems to be it's more of an orangey colour that I see virtually if I was sitting on your lounge. Where are we going? If I sat on your lounge, is there a double window or a biggish window to the right-hand side of that? And in the top, okay, in the top left-hand corner of that window, because it seems to be a very big window, there is often an orange glare or an orange light or a reflection of something. The orange is actually them, my love. Coming around for a little bit of a sticky beat, coming around for a cup of tea. But also, like, particularly from your mum. Virtually saying, she's got a hand out, virtually saying, what a damn good job you've done this year. You've looked after a few people that you probably weren't expecting to. And you've been through like a really tough time yourself, as has Mark. But you've taken it on the chin, but it's like you've come back with a vengeance. It's like you've come back and said, F you COVID, I'm going to do so much more with my life than what I was destined to do under COVID. Do you know what I mean? Because I know you guys were stuck in lockdown for a long time. But what Mum's guiding me to is, as soon as you can, it's almost like you put wings on your feet. And you kind of go to a lot of places in a short period of time to be able to kind of get back to your grassroots, is what I want to say there. And I just think it's funny how Mum showed me it's almost like skate on your feet, but they were kind of like little wings from an airplane. I just thought that was funny, the way she showed me that. So she has a very loving and a very fun sense of humour. It's almost like you feel like you're out of yourself because you haven't had a lot of those connections that that you have had in the past. Do you know what I mean? And I feel that you're feeling a bit lost with all that. And I don't want you to feel lost. I mean, everybody has a lot of stuff to do, because everybody's trying to still maneuver their way around COVID, or to maneuver their way around their work life or their jobs, or whether they love their job or they hate their job, or whether they've been taken for granted or they're not taken for granted, whatever the case may be. Everyone's going toing and froing from so many different things and having so many things thrown at them, because every day seems to be different. I don't want you to lose sight in who you are. And I know you understand what I'm saying when I say that mum sends you gifts. It's almost like you can walk into your kitchen and there's something there that you haven't put there. Mum seems to send you gifts, and she elaborates in messages in so many ways. And whether it's even looking out that window that I spoke about and seeing an animal that you would not normally see at that window, or you see something flit by that you haven't seen before. She just seems to show you so many different things. And, I love that about your mum. She just, she's very colourful. She calls a spade, but she has a really loving heart. And, you've taken on those qualities yourself. You have all those qualities, and, that's such a wonderful thing. So I say to you, a wonderful Christmas to you and Mark. Dad's popping in and saying, don't be such a sergeant major all the time. Not everything has to be perfect all the time. You can be laxy-daisy with a few things. And wow, someone's really grabbed my throat. Spirit attacks me in many, many ways. It's quite bizarre. So I'm wondering whether the throat thing is your dad having this like persistent clearing of the throat, because it's what I want to feel like I want to do all the time. Although I had a bit of a cough earlier, but I think that was someone, a spirit that I had had pneumonia. But like, I just want to clear my throat all the time, and maybe that was also to a way that he entered a room. In clearing his throat, so people would kind of stand to attention and know no, they had to be ready to listen to him. But, he sends all his love to you and Mark as well, and to the fur babies. The fur babies get a mention of, they're being very well looked after, and you're a great mum to them, and they'll be with you for a very long time because they're your babies, and, they're treated as such. Have a wonderful day, and bless you. Okay, Kate, thank you. My life is wonderful. I can't wait to tell you the support I'm getting. My centre will open early next new year. You must come to the opening. I'd be more than happy to come, Kate. I don't know actually where you're based, but yeah, I'd be happy to come along for support, or if you need me to speak about anything, I'm happy to do that as well. But yeah, you've done wonderful things for the world of bullying. For anyone who doesn't know, Kate has written a book, or a few books now, and has another one upcoming, all about, teaching kids how to handle bullying and how to get past it, and so forth, and has a company that just, embraces the greater good in many people to help in stamping out bullying and, suicide that's created from bullying and all sorts of things. And Kate, I take my hat off to you. You're a beautiful person. I wish you a very Merry Christmas. And I know that the centre will be marvellous, and I'm more than happy to see what I can do to help you along the way. And even if it's just being there for the opening, let me know where it's all going to take place. Okay? And after that, I'm going to draw another name, because I'm not going to be on for much longer. Getting close to 20 past midnight. Let me see who I have. Oh, you wouldn't credit it, would you? Wouldn't credit it in a million years. I know Eileen's probably still not here. The one I've drawn out, Danina Scrivener, who's my partner in crime. She is down the coast at the moment, catching up with her beautiful family for Christmas, where I was supposed to be going with her, but COVID, I'm stuck in lockdown. And she shares my page quite often, and it's incredible that I draw her out. I just think that's funny. I'm sure, and I know that she's actually not watching tonight, given where she is, but she shares my pages quite often, and I just think it's funny that I pulled her name out. Okay. Tammy, good night, everyone. You're welcome. I wish you a very Merry Christmas, and cheers to 2021. We need better year, a better year than today. Is it raining? I can hear rain. Is it raining? Sorry, I'm just going to check. Our weather was actually quite warm today. There was a hint of rain for tomorrow. Oh no. No, it's actually down in Wollongong at the moment, so although I can still hear the rain. So anyway, radar says not. Okay, let me have a quick look, because I'm not going to be here for much longer. Okay. Alison, I've got to be honest, those area names aren't resonating with me at all. No, I'm not getting. If anything, if any one out of the lot is standing out as Blacksland, but I don't feel that that's 100% correct for you either. I'm not feeling the what do you call it? The way Spirit shows me is I'm not feeling the feet in the sand, so to speak. Although if I had to choose out of the three, I would say Blacksland, but I'm still not seeing the feet in the sand. You know, I'm not feeling that any of those are 100% right too. And how you're going to acquire a rental is just really, I actually feel it's going to be word of mouth. I don't feel that you're going to see it, and whatever, I feel that it's going to be word of mouth. And then you'll just go looking, and and you'll find it. Here's another giveaway prize to Stella Murto. Stella, I know you're on early. You probably aren't on now. You've probably gone to bed. You are another one of my prize. But let me draw another one. I'm feeling all Christmassy now because it's, you know, it's late and we need to finish up soon. But let's do another one. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Mr. Dean Walker. Mr. Dean Walker, you're another one. Merry Christmas to you. And I think things run in threes. How about we do another one? Just because it's Christmas. Just because it's Christmas. Just. Let me have a look. I've got one or two. No, just one. Ariane, Peru. Ariane, Peru. Please inbox me. Anyone who I've drawn, please inbox me your address. I will try and message you guys, but if you're not already one of my friends on Facebook, of course I can't. But if you message me and I can tell you that you've won a prize, but I need your address so I can send you something. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just scrolling down to look at some responses and see if I need to add anything to anyone. There is a job for 10 minutes, that involves traveling that starts late Jan. Okay. If you feel that that's the one that you need to go for, however, is it the right job for you? I have a question mark on that one, yeah? I like this comment. You're so deadly. What, Nita, what do you mean by that? Is that a good thing or a bad? Is that good or bad? Could be either, I guess. It could be either. But I'm sure you'll let me know. Okay. We're hitting the 2-hour mark, which is what I said I would do for Christmas. And oh my God. Some of you guys my second last one for the night is April McCants. April McCants. You can inbox me your address. That would be fabulous. This one is going to be really quick. No. I don't feel that she even wants to. I don't feel that at all. Why would anybody want to have another child? Another child is not going to change the person from being toxic. But I don't feel that, she wants one at all. Okay. There's so many of you. Oh my God. Wow. Some people go to such effort. I hope none of you people have responded to this. I mean, how ridiculous. I just felt a spirit behind me then. And I thought, Okay, the trolls are really coming out now. I have like heaps of them on the bottom of this feed. Heaps and heaps and heaps. Okay, one more prize giveaway for Christmas, and then we're going to say goodnight. Okay. My last one, Joan Griffin. So Joan Griffin, you're my last one for tonight. Don't forget also too, if you've shared tonight's feed, more names will go into the thing because I've got more prizes to give away on New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve will be doing the same thing again in giving away prizes. It will be late again, so we can have coming into New Year, and it's now Christmas Day, and I hope Breeza, hello, how are you? Your night has been crazy busy. You're sad you missed it. That's okay. It is what it is tonight. So Lisa, thank you for blocking the trolls. I see there's a few that have come on tonight that are trolls. It's really off-putting because once they start all messaging you guys, everything just gets all lackadaisy, and it just gets ridiculous. And some people on here are even claiming that they're a psychic. They call themselves a psychic, but they can't do anything for themselves, so they're trolling other pages to try and get work. They're trying to scam people and all sorts of stuff. As to what I've said to COVID, and there is 2.5 minute window at the right of my count, and I always look out that window. He did clear his throat, and yes, I see lots of birds that chase each other that make me giggle, and pairs of butterflies, and I always know it's them. I hope you have a wonderful day. Saturday knockdown, yes, and I've been getting back to my roots of the country towns to help them. Good for you, Vicky. I think that's wonderful. Your mum and dad are very caring spirits, and it's always a pleasure connecting with them. That window was really throwing me because it was it was very big, and it just seemed to be in one the top I think they said the top left hand corner, I think they said, where this beam of orange comes through. So that was really lovely. Anyway, we're going to be done. Will I do one more? Ms Tique is always about giving things away. So let's just do another one. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. Who have I got? Chantel Daly. So Chantel, if you would please inbox me your address, and I will get something on its way. And as I said earlier on in the feed, if you weren't here at the beginning, then I will be sending out these gifts in the early part of January. If you haven't received anything by the 3rd or 4th week of January, please let me know. But I'm endeavouring to get all of them out. Some of the boxes of all the prizes didn't, and the gifts for the baskets for the domestic violence refugees, they didn't arrive till very late this evening. At about 6:30 this evening, and I was going live on another show at 8 o'clock. So I've had very little time to unpack a few things. Again, my sincere gratitude and thank you to Luke Eastwood, who has donated a few boxes from his mum's stuff, and his mum was very much one of my good friends who passed away a few months ago. So resting soul, Sandra and Gary, you are back in one another's arms, and that's a beautiful connection. So I appreciate everything you guys do. And Luke, thank you very much. Thank you to Stacey Shefflin from YBF Beauty. She owns and directs that company. YBF stands for Your Best Friend. She's was an international model. She's also one of the guitarists behind the Simply Irresistible song with Robert Palmer. Thank you to Nick Chavez, who is the most divine soul I've ever come across. He is the owner of his own hairdressing salon in Beverly Hills. He is the hairdresser to the stars in Beverly Hills. He has sent over some items for me to to give away. Thank you to Harvey Norman for the for the laptops that I was able to take to a couple of the domestic violence refugees, and to those women who have been watching this evening via those laptops. I appreciate who you are. I can't name who you are. I can't name where you're at due to privacy reasons, which everybody would understand. But I thank you so much, excuse me, for allowing me to help you along the way. It's been my pleasure. And thank you to each and every one of you who have joined me tonight. And I'm wishing you all the very best Christmas that you're going to have when you wake up in the morning. And God bless you all. And we will see you. Oh, my goodness, my throat. We will see you next Thursday, which is New Year's Eve. So Merry Christmas, one and all. Thank you for supporting Ms Tique. Thank you for loving what I do. Thank you for sharing my feeds. Thank you for being the most wonderful audience that I can have. And a very Merry Christmas to you all. And I bid you good night. All right. See you next week.